goalkeeper from Livonia, Michigan, number 1, Mitch. Defender from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 2, Matt. Defender from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 22, Austin. A defender from Sydney, Australia, number 4, Harrison. A defender from Lincoln, Nebraska, number 3, Tyler. A forward from San Ramon, California, number 23, Andrew. A midfielder from Plano, Texas, number 19, Portland. A midfielder from Football, Ohio, number 6, Kenny. A forward from Queens, New York, number 7, Kadeem. A midfielder from Marvin, Pennsylvania, number 20, Jenny. A forward from Senegal, number 9. FC Cincinnati is led by head coach, assistant coach, Johan Deme, goalkeeper coach, Jamie Starr, athletic trainer, Aaron Powell, strength coach, Ben Young, team medical care provided by Drs. Angelo Colosimo and Brian Rowdies from UC Health. FC Cincinnati is presented by UC Health. Please rise and welcome FC Cincinnati and Tampa Bay to the pitch. Please rise and place your hand over your heart as the United University of Cincinnati Air Force ROTC program presents the colors and a perfect blend leads us in the singing of the national anthem.
Saturday night, professional soccer returned to Cincinnati with another record crowd at Nippert Stadium and a thrilling performance from a newcomer. Tonight, a midweek challenge when Tampa Bay visits the Queen City for the first time. Stadium on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. Tom Glatter thrilled to be alongside All-American and broadcast partner Kevin McCloskey as we get you set for a fantastic midweek matchup between FC Cincinnati and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. But Kevin, first let's go back to Saturday and the regular season home opener for the Orange and Blue. It was the GB show. GB with a record-setting night.
Special night, obviously, for GB and the team as well. Scoring 4 goals is obviously a fantastic feat for one player, but just the way the team provided him that service was fantastic. It's one game that obviously he's going to remember for the rest of his life.
4 different players assisted on the 4 goals for the newcomer from Senegal. Let's take a look at tonight's key matchup. It is driven by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. And for Kenny Walker, a big matchup trying to slow down a very talented guy from Akron, Ohio.
Yeah, Michael Nanchoff, he's very creative. He's going to be into that 10 position for the Rowdies tonight, and Kenny's definitely going to have to try to shut that down. I think if he can shut it down, it springs forward FC Cincinnati's attack, and they're in good shape.
Well, it's a warm but clear night for soccer in the Queen City. We're going to see changes in both clubs, starting 11, including no Joe Cole for Tampa Bay. We'll take a look when we return. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer.
Change tonight. Jimmy McLaughlin, Andrew Weedman will be starting. Also, noting Eric Stevenson is back after an injury but will not see action.
Please direct your attention towards the video receiving scoring car. In celebration of UC night, please welcome the University of Cincinnati President, Neville Pinto, to the field for
Back at Nippert Stadium for the second ever meeting between FC Cincinnati and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. I am Tom Gledder alongside Kevin McCloskey as the teams have taken to the pitch, and it is time to take a look at our starting lineups for tonight. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places in 4. Alan Koch, 2 changes. Andrew Wiedemann is in the 11. Jimmy McLaughlin back in the 11. Aiden Quinn will sit along with Victor Mansoure. At the other side, for Tampa Bay, some changes as well for Stuart Campbell. No Joe Cole, the 35-year-old who had a great career in England. He is resting a bit, might see him later on in the match. So Michael Nanchoff moves into the 10, and a few different changes. Leo Fernandez into the starting lineup. Got to watch out for Deshaun Brown as well up top for the Rowdies. All of our sideline reports are brought to you by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. Let's head downstairs for the first time tonight and check in with Lindsay Patterson.
Guys, it's all about focus, taking one game at a time for FC Cincinnati. Fresh legs, a different matchup each night. 3 home games in 8 days for this crew. The lineup changed. Jimmy McLaughlin, Andrew Wiedemann back out there. Also worth noting, Eric Stevenson is back from an injury but won't see action here tonight.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. We'll be checking in with Lindsay throughout the evening. Today's injury report is presented by the Levy Law Offices. They turn your crash into cash. Good news for FC Cincinnati. Only one name left on there. That's Justin Hoyt, still out with a hamstring injury. A couple for Tampa Bay, and one affects their starting lineup. Akira Fitzgerald is out with that hamstring injury suffered at Louisville City, and that means Matt Pickens is starting in goal for Tampa Bay. Our match official is brought to you by Kingsgate Transportation. We can take it from here, and tonight's match official is John Freeman, and momentarily he will signal in. Both teams ready for play. It looks like Kenny Walker tightening up his boots as we get ready. You saw Austin Berry there talking with John Freeman, and that is actually Aaron Powell out there checking on Kenny Walker just as he is getting laced up, making sure that he is ready to go. And this is an FC Cincinnati team. We just saw GB that should have a lot of confidence after their 4-0 win.
Yeah, fantastic performance from GB on Saturday night. A lot of team service obviously coming through from wide positions. And, you know, we saw the possession in the second half on Saturday. Confidence was high. So hopefully this carries over to tonight's game.
Now there is the ready for play signal from John Freeman, and we are underway. First time Tampa Bay has ever paid a visit to Nippert Stadium. I mentioned earlier this is the second meeting between the two teams. They met on June 1st of 2016. How so? Tampa Bay was in the NASL, you say. It was the U.S. Open Cup, second match for FC Cincinnati after a win in mid-May here at Nippert Stadium. They went down to Tampa and lost a tough one, 1-0. And that is the only meeting between these two clubs. You see Kenny Walker working in the midfield, and in the change in formation with Aiden Quinn out, we expect to see Walker sit back a little bit and provide that central midfield defense.
I think probably the same shape, you know, probably a traditional 4-3-3. Just a rotation of Aiden, probably looking ahead a little bit this Saturday, obviously with the game of Louisville, and Kenny drops back into that pocket. Position that he's played in the past, so very comfortable in that area.
When, as Lindsay said, an opportunity tonight, not looking past Tampa Bay by any means, but to manage minutes. These 3 games in 8 days for FC Cincinnati. Alan Koch, he's focused on beating the Rowdies, but he also knows he has another game on Saturday and wants to watch his minutes as he goes through to Saturday night.
That's professional management, you know, right. That's why you've got a squad, and the competition that we've talked about, if he's not going to use it, it's not going to be a plus and a big benefit.
Tampa Bay will pick it up in the midfield. And then good defense there from Kenny Walker. And Walker's grabbing his left ankle. That's something to keep an eye on. Aaron Powell out there in an odd situation that he would have tweaked his ankle that early on in the match.
Looked like he had a strap or
started,
yeah. I couldn't tell if it was a strap or just tape around kind of the lower part of his leg. Definitely have to keep an eye on that.
Dacres knocking into the midfield to Wiedemann, where play will resume right at the midfield. Kenny Walker standing over it, and you're right, Aaron Powell was out there, so it wasn't an equipment issue if you call out the athletic trainer, but it would be unfortunate if he would have to come out early. Couldn't be too much concern from Aaron Powell because he doesn't have Aiden Quinn up moving around.
Yeah, I think it's more of like a strapping issue, honestly.
There's Matt Pickens playing it forward. Pickens, a very experienced goalkeeper. He had to come in when Akira Fitzgerald was injured on Saturday at Louisville City. Nanchoff working down the right side for Tampa Bay. Into the offensive third. Nanchoff cutting across the pitch. Knocks it over to his left a bit too strong, and it rolls out along the end line. A goal kick coming up for Mitch Hildebrand. 2-1 was the final at Louisville City. Interesting to note, Tampa Bay won their first 3 matches of the year, all at home. They did not allow a goal. Akira Fitzgerald gets hurt. He did not allow a goal against Louisville City. So Matt Pickens comes in. He's the only goalkeeper that has allowed a goal this season for Tampa Bay.
Very experienced keeper coming in with Pickens as well. So should be an easy enough transition for Tampa Bay.
Pickens, a ton of Major League Soccer experience. Jimmy McLaughlin, who did not start on Saturday, back in the 11 for Alan Koch, working far touchline. And a throw-in coming for the orange and blue early. Wiedemann had touched it off to McLaughlin, intercepted, and now picked up by Nanchoff.
A transition from both teams, really. You know, not any team's really been able to establish possession and make the most of that ball. You know, it's kind of a lot of turnovers early, which, based on the tempo, that happens a lot.
Austin Berry tracking it down in the midfield with a header, and then a nice ball from Matt Boehner to keep it alive. GB will pick it up right at midfield. He'll have it taken off his foot by Justin Chavez. Chavez had only played 2 minutes this season. Coming into today, he gets the start for Stuart Campbell as Campbell shakes up his 11 a bit.
Patient build up here from the Rowdies. I just talked about it a moment ago about the team trying to settle into possession. I think patience has been a very big strength of Tampa Bay Rowdies in the first 4 games. So this is something that they're trying to get into a rhythm here. Trying to work the ball if they can from defensive third and the middle third, and obviously wait for that right time to kind of make an attack.
McLaughlin pushes it to Delbridge, and now into the midfield, Wiedemann. FC Cincinnati in their traditional blue kits with white and orange on the front, working left to right. Tampa Bay in all white. And a pretty nice night for soccer here in the Queen City. A little bit warm, but it is clear, not too humid. Takers trying to keep it alive. Leo Fernandez picks it back up. Third start of the season for Fernandez. Here comes Nanshaw right up the middle of the pitch.
He said it's a little bit humid. I think this will be a big test for both teams. Obviously playing this past weekend on Saturday night, not a ton of time to recover. And you're back playing a midweek game.
Mentioned the loss for Tampa Bay at Louisville City. They stayed in Louisville after the loss. Trained in Louisville, drove up to Cincinnati yesterday. Were able to train here at Nippert Stadium before taking the pitch tonight. Corbin Bone a hair too strong, trying to feed it to Jimmy McLaughlin. Tonight's keys to the match are brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. And what do you have for FC Cincinnati, Kevin?
Facing a very experienced team. Obviously, the Rowdies, lost that game to Louisville on Saturday. I'm sure they're going to have a chip on their shoulder and want to bounce back. And the big thing for FC Cincinnati, we talked about in the second half of Saturday's game, is that confidence. Bringing that confidence into play. If they can get into an established possession, then they're going to create a lot of chances from that.
Talked about the patience, and both teams have been very patient here in the first 6 minutes. Feeling each other out. Looking for a run there was Deshaun Brown. Good defense from Harrison Delbridge, but the Rowdies able to pick it right back up. Big shot from 35 yards out, and Marcel Schaefer, a midfielder from Germany, drills his first goal of the year.
What a goal. I mean, obviously Schaefer's a very experienced player, having played for Germany, past Bundesliga champion, but he's a player you can't give that space to. Picks the ball up, he's got nothing but space in the front. He's about 35 yards out, takes a look, and wicked ball into the bottom left corner for Mitch. Just kind of knuckles and drifts away. Unbelievable strike.
Mitch Hildebrandt made a great dive and missed it by about an inch or two. If he gets a piece of it, he pushes it wide. It's a corner kick, but it's not a goal.
Yeah.
A great effort there, but a brilliant strike.
Brilliant strike. From
Marcel Schaefer, his first goal of the year.
I think it's an early wake-up call too. We talk about getting pressure on that ball. You can't allow a player that's, at one point he was world class, that amount of space. You got to get pressure on him.
There's a lot of international experience on this roster, and that is one of the guys with a ton of international experience. Marcel Schaefer, 345 Bundesliga appearances.
Yeah.
Ball sent in the middle, looking for GB. Pickens gets in the way of it, dives to collect, and he will take his time getting rid of it. Let his team push forward as we are in the 8th minute. Tampa Bay now on top, 1-0.
Be very important now for FC Cincinnati. See how they respond. We talked about obviously the preparation from Alan and his staff. They knew the team that they were going to play against. They definitely have a big challenge tonight with the experience that they face. But FC Cincinnati, I think, really have to take the game to them. I think they need to press them a little bit more, and don't allow the Rowdies to be patient. Kind of make it as frantic as possible and play at their speed to try to change momentum back.
Kenny Walker is going to be called for a foul, taking out Michael Nanshaw just outside the 18-yard box to the near side. And a dangerous free kick coming up here for Tampa Bay as we get another look.
Yeah, both guys going for it. I think Kenny might have just clipped him. But, we talked about that pregame. That's going to be an interesting battle and matchup tonight.
Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by UC Health. Interesting note between those two, they played against each other in the national championship game in 2010. Nanchoff won with Akron with FC Cincinnati teammate Eric Stevenson.
Yeah.
And of course, Kenny Walker and Austin Berry were on that Louisville Cardinal team.
Yep.
So a lot of history between that Akron-Louisville matchup in 2010 playing tonight. GB is fouled hard in the midfield. Damian Lowe came in from behind and knocked him down. 5th start this year for Lowe. He gets called for the foul. And a free kick right just behind the midfield stripe for the orange and blue.
Yeah, Lowe's a big, strong, kind of imposing centre back for Rowdies. Came against Louisville too. He had a good battle with former FC Cincinnati player Luke Spencer. So he's going to be a guy that's going to give GB a lot of physical presence from behind. Might try to make his life a little bit tough tonight.
Another foul called on Tampa Bay just outside the offensive third for FC Cincinnati. Stuart Campbell taking exception to that call as Tyler Pollock will come over and strike it, and an opportunity here for FC Cincinnati to try to find an equalizer.
Yeah, I think first thing, you know, set piece like this, you've got to put it into that space between the line that they're holding and the goalkeeper. I mean, Tyler wants to see if the goalkeeper's going to come to it. It's a new keeper. Obviously, they're going to try to test him early and see if they can get anything from this. Austin coming up, obviously Harrison Dilbridge as well. 2 big targets that they might try to find at the back post.
Pickens played 74 minutes against Louisville City in his season debut on Saturday. Pollock with his left foot towards the top of the box. McLaughlin couldn't get to it. Walker going to keep it alive and go out wide for his former Louisville Cardinal teammate, Austin Berry. Now Pollock into the box again, short of GB. Tampa Bay does well to pick it up. Nanchoff keeping it alive with a nice ball right along the touchline, but it's intercepted by Matt Boehner. Big boost of confidence here in the 7th minute as Tampa Bay got the early strike from Marcel Schaefer. About 35 yards away as he put it in the back of the net, just beating Mitch Hildebrandt. And that's where we stand now in the 12th minute.
You can see here, just I talked about trying to dictate the flow of the game. FC Cincinnati just tried to trap the Rowdies there in the middle third. I think if they can continue to press defensively in the right areas, they'll try to slow that patient build up, and hopefully win turnovers higher up the field then for FC Cincinnati.
Darwin Jones sent it into the middle. Mitch Hildebrandt was there to intercept it, and now Tyler Pollock working up the left flank. Corbin Bone misplays it, and Jimmy McLaughlin's going to have to come back to help. Jones trying to pick it up for Tampa Bay. McLaughlin having trouble with Jones, finally gets around him. And then Corbin Bone is steamrolled in the midfield. He takes exception to the tackle by Michael Nanchoff, and sparks flying a little bit on the far side of the pitch early on. See what John Freeman has to say. So
Good win by Jimmy. Yeah,
won the ball.
Quick feed here by Corbin.
Well, I think what he took exception to was the arm at the net.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Close one, really, you know. See the reaction, obviously, of the crowds in the replay.
So no booking on the foul from Nanchoff. Play resumes. DeBailey a little bit more wound up.
Yeah.
And Harrison Delbridge working it on to Austin Berry in the midfield as FC Cincinnati tries to deliberately set up their attack. Nanchoff able to deflect the ball off of Austin Berry. And then Nanchoff falls down right in front of FC Cincinnati's bench. Didn't look like there was a whole lot of contact there.
Yeah, Nanchoff, I think he probably saw the pressure coming from the side to him, kind of draw the foul a little bit. He sees this space.
Yeah. Bit of a dive.
Probably could have stood up, but you know, contact was made, so.
I think he felt the hand on his back.
100%.
He got the call, so a foul called there. And Nanchoff will bring it back into play right in front of Alan Koch as he watches on his club trailing by a goal. Nanchoff with his left foot sends it into the box, looking far post. It is headed directly into the air, and Delbridge does a nice job clearing out there to let Mitch Hildebrandt catch it.
FC Cincinnati just quick counter-attack play, and this is something I think they really need to look at. They've got speed with Diekers. GB up top, obviously Jimmy on the outside as well. Anytime they win that ball back in defensive third, I think they need to speed up their attack just a little bit. If you look right now, you can see Rowdies are dropping back into kind of a low block here. They're not trying to press at all. They're trying to make the space as compact as possible. So obviously with that build-up play for FC Cincinnati, it's harder there. It's harder to find gaps. It's harder to kind of penetrate.
Wiedemann has the deflection play right to his feet. On to McLaughlin, now dropped for Kenny Walker. Walker through the middle, got it to Wiedemann. Rolls unlucky off his foot. And now back to Nanchoff in the midfield. Tampa Bay keeping it alive in their defensive third. Back onto the foot of Damon Lowe. Native of Jamaica, stands at 6'3". This is a club with a lot of experience, but a lot of size as well.
A lot of size, yeah, very athletic.
Luke Bowden, native of England, also 6'3". Into the middle to Marcel Schaefer.
It's going to be a big advantage, obviously, on set pieces.
Talking about that great strike from Schaefer. He has 8 appearances with the German national team.
Yeah.
Signed with Tampa Bay in March. Just added to all of the international experience that Stuart Campbell has on this roster.
This is the battle right here I was talking about earlier. I think GB and Lowe for the Rowdies. It's going to get physical, but you know, we talked about GB's build-up or back to goal play the other night. You know, he's a big, strong target, but he's definitely going to have his hands full with Lowe coming in and pressuring him.
GB got called for the foul. He took exception to it, and there was a little bit of a shove.
There's always going to be
pushing and shoving going both ways, but
yeah.
The second contact was the shove from GB. And therefore, he got called for the foul, and you're already seeing GB and Lowe.
And he has to expect that. You know, that contact, he's got to be able to deal with it.
Here's Nanchoff, sending it into the box. Mitch Hildebrand reads it perfectly and collects.
Here's the same play again, right? We're trying to counter if we can't get Dakers in behind.
You know what he's trying to do every time?
Hildebrand hit it right away. Rolled past Dakers, and it'll be thrown over on the throw-in to Matt Pickens. You know, you talk about GB all of a sudden going to have a huge target on his back following the 4-goal match on Saturday night here in Nippert. And last year, Sean Coley really got going, and he started to climb that league leader list for goals. He had a huge target. Now, every tackle was a little bit harder, and every time he got tackled, there was an additional little push.
He's got a big X on his back.
Him, yeah.
I think the other thing too that you look at, you know, the difference in matchups, right? I mean, you've got to look at the opponent and their strengths, and obviously, you know, Tampa Bay have got a very solid back line, especially the 2 center backs with Collins and Lowe, and being that lone target at times can become lonely. You know, you're not going to get a lot.
GB unable to get to the header. Kenny Walker not able to pick it up for FC Cincinnati, and it comes back to Lowe, and Tampa Bay will start to push right to left. Tyler Pollock picked up the header at midfield, but pushed it out along the touchline, and the throw-in coming for Tampa Bay. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers.
Yeah, tonight, guys, one thing we're seeing, I know you talked about GB having that target on his back. We're also seeing a little bit of leadership out of him, too. Andrew Wiedemann back in that starting lineup. I always see GB kind of going out there whenever he can, patting him on the back, showing him where he needs to be at a certain time, kind of coaching the guys up out there, too.
Thank you, Lindsay.
I think another key for FC Cincinnati is trying to get Corbin Bone and Andrew Wiedemann on the ball. Now, we talked earlier about kind of GB being that lone target. He's got to get some support. FC Cincinnati have to get some possession in between that line. The toughest thing, really, what I talked about, the Rowdies are so disciplined in getting back into that block, there's not a ton of space. So it's going to be interesting as it unfolds.
Talked about off the top of the broadcast, Kevin, a change in the lineup for both of these clubs.
Yeah.
So, and that's a lot too. Coaches prepare for what they know they're going to see, and then 45 minutes before they get handed a lineup, they can adjust for certain things, but changes for both these teams mean both clubs and both managers are making changes on the fly as well.
I think that's why, you know, obviously both teams, or both coaches at least, are going to believe in a true system. There's going to be tweaks. Personnel are going to come in and out of those lines. But with that system, at least, it provides consistency. You know, it means that, okay, Jimmy McLaughlin's going to start on the left tonight. That's fine, not a big deal. He understands the responsibilities.
Here's a dangerous ball. Jimmy McLaughlin with Pickens coming off his line to make a huge stop. If that ball bounces over Pickens, Jimmy McLaughlin ties this game at 1 apiece. Instead, Tampa Bay with a chance at the other end. Deshaun Brown. Brown had kept it alive, and now Corbin Bone comes back to help, and Kenny Walker's going to clear it out looking for Dakers. Dakers with Luke Bowden up his back, and we're going to have our first booking of the night.
Could be hitting with an elbow, look like.
And GB very upset going after Bowden. John Freeman comes over after elbowing Kadeem Dakers in the face. Second yellow card on the season for Bowden. Here's a look.
Yeah, I think Bowden comes in here with his left arm, maybe just stretches across and catches him.
It looked like more of his hand and forearm.
Yeah.
Catching Kadeem Dakers across the face. So Bowden into the book in the 20th minute. And a free kick coming for FC Cincinnati just across midfield, as they're going to push forward and try to turn this into a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, just so we talked about that first set piece. Okay, trying to play in and trying to test the back line. The other thing, too, you got to look at, they've got a height advantage for Tampa Bay. So they may have to vary this a little bit where they play short sometimes or play down to the channel and play in behind the line.
Pollock played it right to the top of that 6-yard box, and Pickens was able to read it and catch it without GB providing any disruption. 2 of the 4 goals for GB on Saturday night against St. Louis were headers. He had one with his left foot and one with his right foot, so the natural hat trick for GB. And he didn't go back to the header until his 4th, so he did it in order. Throwing for St. Louis from the far side. On to the left, Leo Fernandez into the middle, and the flag was up. Offside is the call.
A good play again by Tampa Bay Rowdies. Nanchoff has been the heartbeat really in that attack. Finding Fernandez is another good, intelligent player, very dynamic player too. So Tampa Bay so far, I think, have had the run of the play. I think they look a little bit more threatening in the attack.
Tampa Bay able to regain. Controlled the possession here in the first 23 minutes. Harrison Delbridge knocking it off to Kenny Walker. When these two teams played last year in Tampa Bay, it was a goal in the 11th minute. That was the deciding factor. Georgi Ristov, who is in the 18 but not starting today, another guy who's getting some rest for Stuart Campbell, had the early goal. FC Cincinnati had some great opportunities. Actually, Pickens was the starting goalie that day for Tampa Bay, but unable to find the equalizer as the Rowdies moved on to the U.S. Open Cup, and FC Cincinnati's run came to a close. Goal kick coming up for Pickens. Pickens, we talked about all the experience he has stepping back into this starting role after Akira Fitzgerald started the first 4 matches of the year and then got hurt at Louisville City. This is the first start for Pickens, but 116 appearances in 5 years with the Colorado Rapids, 40 appearances with Chicago Fire, so that's over 150 Major League Soccer appearances. Ball played into the middle for Deshaun Brown. It was a nice looking pass, didn't get there, deflected out by FC Cincinnati, and we will have our first corner kick of the night.
Jones, I think, just showed a little bit of his speed there, opening up in that flank, getting in behind with a good early service.
All of tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Turn your crash into cash. Visit LevyLawOffices.com today. Corner will come from the far side to the left of our broadcast location. Swung in to the box, headed away by Harrison Delbridge, and Kadeem Dakers going to pick it up. Deflected back. Matt Boehner coming over. He'll clear it in to his own bench, and the throw in for Tampa Bay at midfield. Duke Bowden onto the foot of Justin Chavez, and then Bowden will get it right back. Chavez into the middle and now onto the far side as Tampa Bay will set up, leading by a goal. Into the middle, Darwin Jones.
Yeah.
Corbin Bone there to take it away, and now Kenny Walker.
Good step there from Austin Berry just to win that initial ball into Braun.
Goal kick for Mitch Hildebrand, quickly up to Delbridge, and Jimmy McLaughlin collided with one of the Rowdies on the far side. McLaughlin was slow to his feet. Mitch is going to hang tight for a moment. This play is now going to be stopped as the Rowdy far side, hard to see who is down over there, and the training staff will come out as Andrew Keene will make the run across the pitch. There's the collision. Darnell King
just caught him as he's coming through there.
Looked like Jimmy's cleat went into his leg. Jimmy was slow getting up as though his foot got caught awkwardly.
I think King just might have caught him with his back foot. Nothing intentional though.
No, not at all. And Mitch Hildebrand saw that both players were slow getting up. Andrew Keene will signal across to Stuart Campbell that King is okay. Now, there was once a legendary soccer player, Andrew Keene, who played here at the University of Cincinnati.
From Scotland, right?
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he's home in Scotland, not taking over athletic training duties for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Yeah, odd career change at this point for him. This play will resume with Mitch Hildebrand once he gets the signal from John Freeman. King remains out on the far side right now, so for the moment Tampa Bay playing a man down, and now King kind of limps back onto the pitch and we're back even. Barry over to his right, Boehner.
I think Barry and Harrison, I think they just need to be a little bit more patient here and try to find feet if they can. They're probably 4 of the last 5 entrance passes into the forwards have just been like that, into the air, you know. They're facing obviously a height advantage with the Rowdies' defense. They need to try to change that and play into feet if they can.
Darwin Jones playing back, took it right off the foot of McLaughlin. Into the midfield, Harrison Delbridge picks it back up. Plays his service a bit too strong. Tom Glader, Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson. Happy to be with you. Second of 3 matches here at Nippert Stadium this week. The Orange and Blue back in action again on Saturday night, 7 o'clock against rival Louisville City. First things first, trying to get a result tonight here in a midweek clash of 2 teams that should be very competitive in the Eastern Conference this season.
Tampa just showing how good they are in possession, very confident. Everything's very clean. Good life touches out of their feet. They'll be happy to keep it.
Darwin Jones playing it off his back heel. Then deflects off FC Cincinnati and out along the far touchline. Played back forward in the direction of Brown. And no trouble there as it bounced right into Mitch Hildebrand. And we talked about the athleticism of this Tampa Bay team. They have a lot of speed too.
Yeah.
A lot of guys with experience. Some guys a little bit older maybe don't have as much speed now, but they have the youth to provide the speed as well.
And extremely intelligent. So yeah, if you've got that balance, obviously a good soccer IQ and athleticism, it makes for a dangerous makeup.
Dakers with a dangerous play. Top of the 18, left-footed shot is deflected by Bowden. What a great job there by Dakers to stay with the ball and create a scoring opportunity. Corbin Bone looking for some space. Leaves it for Wiedemann, and it's intercepted by Neil Collins. Forward to Nanshaw. Quickly another look at that Dakers ball. He slipped.
Yeah, does well to press.
Yeah.
Has that speed inside and pulls the trigger, and obviously Tampa come across and cut it out, but Dacre showed Saturday night too what an athlete he is.
Really had a fantastic match against St. Louis, and that's exactly why Jeff Birding and the coaching staff wanted him here in Cincinnati and not down the road at Louisville City.
Yeah, I think tonight, you know, again, he's a guy that they want the ball at his feet. They want to kind of isolate Bowden if they can in a 1v1 position out wide, and something will happen from that. They'll be able to create chances.
Andrew Wiedemann picks it up in the midfield. And now Harrison Delbridge across midfield. Over to Jimmy McLaughlin.
For the first time they've really got numbers into the attack.
McLaughlin into the middle. That'll technically count as a shot on goal.
Yeah.
As it bounces into the chest of Matt Pickens. But no trouble there for the goalkeeper.
It's probably the first attack, though, that they played into the target, laid back and went wide, and allowed FC Cincinnati to, you know, push those extra players up and really to establish an attack.
Leo Fernandez working into the 18 at the other end. Great defense from Matt Boehner.
Great defender.
Dakers and Kenny Walker trying to work it up the right side. Corbin Bone cutting across the middle of the field. Sent it in the direction of GB. There was 2 tackles there. Bone was knocked down as he pushed it across midfield. GB went down as he was awaiting the pass, and the foul was called on the tackle against Corbin Bone.
Yeah. He just pulls him back there a little bit. I'm sure they'd rather have that free kick higher up the field though, where GB got fouled.
Delbridge right at midfield. Looking for Boehner to push down the right side. He'll play it off his chest. See if he can keep it alive. He cannot. Try to deflect it off the defender.
Looked like it might have
get a corner kick.
Yeah, it looked like it actually might have deflected. But
Bowden was there. Apparently didn't catch him. Goal kick coming for Pickens. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Pickens with the goal kick coming, 32nd minute. Tampa Bay still leading by a goal thanks to the tally in the 7th minute by Schaefer. GB can't quite get there. Kenny Walker recovers in the midfield.
It's good by Dakers. Another foul. He's probably been the most productive player, I'd say, for FC Cincinnati so far. Just his work rate to get into those pockets and try to receive it's been great.
Austin Berry with an errant pass across the middle of the pitch. Delbridge there to clean it up and save what could have been a very dangerous situation for the Rowdies.
Gotta be careful on those square passes.
Corbin Bone dancing across midfield. Turns and sends it back to Berry.
It's good. Good intent. You know, that's where they want to break that line that I talked about. If they can get it fullback or into the 6 early, and break that first line of pressure for Tampa.
Ball comes just off the foot of Kenny Walker as Tampa Bay recovers the possession. Then Bowden with Kadeem Dakers on him at midfield creates a throw-in quickly to GB. And GB trying to give it to Corbin Bone, way too strong. Nanshaw's going to race the other way. Nanshaw right up the middle, leaves it for Brown. Brown inside the 18, great defense from Austin Berry.
Good defending, yeah. Kept his eye on the ball in the runner. Good interception.
Andrew Wiedemann trying to create the other way. Dakers hanging just outside the offensive third.
Good ball.
Kenny Walker saw some space, sent it across to McLaughlin. McLaughlin working on King. Jimmy into the middle, cleared by Lowe, and it'll stay just along the touchline. So a throw-in deep in the offensive third coming for the orange and blue. Throw into Corbin Bone, quickly broken up by Tampa Bay. Austin Berry will knock it down with a header. Boehner with a little room to work. Boehner played it into the 18 to Andrew Wiedemann and missed him by about a step.
Oh, look at you. Now it's good play again on this right side. But you'll probably see that last switch that Kenny Walker hit too. Dakers has been probably the most dangerous player for FC Cincinnati. Now Tampa are starting to send 2 players to deal with him. So it's going to open up space. Kenny recognized it on that last switch and hit Jimmy. I think the more and more they can find Dakers, I think the more success they're going to have.
Starting to see these last few minutes, more opportunities opening up for FC Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Maybe the club feeling a little bit more comfortable moving towards the offensive third.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, obviously with time, the game opens up a little bit. Those lines spread. And from that, obviously, space is created.
McLaughlin from Bone, creating a little space, back to Bone. Over to Dakers, right in the middle of the field. Back to McLaughlin inside the 18. Jimmy McLaughlin has it knocked away. Corner kick coming up and an opportunity for FC Cincinnati. All tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Turn your crash into cash. Visit LevyLawOffices.com today. Kenny Walker comes over. McLaughlin is there if they want to play it short. See what Jimmy does. He's going to run away. A little bit of jostling in the box right now between Darnell King and Harrison Delbridge.
Push from King, I think, there.
John Freeman's going to try to get things under control and call both of the players over. 2 defenders. They don't get to knock up against each other very often, so on the set piece. And you know FC Cincinnati will look to try and use Delbridge's size here. Walker to strike it on the corner. Sending it in the direction of the far post. Harrison Delbridge with a goal for FC Cincinnati. The far post header makes it 1-1 in the 36th minute.
Tommy, you just talked about that. Harrison Delbridge being the obvious target. Great delivery in, and you know, Harrison does well to get up, and great finish. Yeah, good ball in from Kenny Walker. Harrison finds that seam in between those 2 defenders. Stay strong, and great finish into the back of the net. Good goal.
First goal on the year for the big Aussie. 2nd assist in as many games for Kenny Walker. Just like that, Nippert Stadium with a little bit of electricity in the winning moments.
Wow, the energy. We've seen it on the field the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's definitely momentum changed a little bit. Great time to get a goal.
GB waiting for a ball along the right side. And cannot control it along the touchline, so a throw-in will come for Tampa Bay. That far side post, something that FC Cincinnati works on in training quite often, those set pieces, and they find it on their first corner kick tonight.
Perfect execution.
Great ball from Kenny Walker, perfect header from Harrison Delbridge, and just like that, we are tied at 1. Ball's going to roll out at the midfield. Austin Berry will throw it in to Harrison Delbridge. He had 1 goal last year. He has his first of this year. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Boehner into the box. Wiedemann with a little space to work. A tough angle as he got it just before the end line. If he's able to hook that back towards GB, certainly has a chance, but well defended. And Wiedemann pushes it out along the end line. Yeah,
I think he just lets it come across his body in front of him, maybe taking a first touch there to kind of slow it down. Would have set up that square pass into the box. You know, one thing now, we talked about the first 15-20 minutes of Tampa Bay and how defensively sound they were. The space is starting to open up more and more in the midfield. So we see what you know, changes they make at halftime, or if they try to tighten up or add another player to kind of stop that penetration.
All 10 field players almost in slow motion during that break, catching their breath, shifting together across the field as the goal kick came from Pickens. Tampa Bay has now allowed 3 goals this entire season. Pickens has allowed all 3 in his last 2 appearances.
I think for both teams, too, you know, not to go back and talk about last Saturday again, but there's going to be a lot of physical and mental fatigue, you know. GB had a massive night, but keep an eye on him. You know, he maybe had a mental or physical hangover from from the big performance. So he's a guy that may need extra minutes or extra rest.
Corbin Bone. Bone with a chance to GB. GB at the top of the 18, a right-footed shot. And he goes wide for a goal kick, but no doubt.
And probably the hardest thing for a player at this level, you score 4 goals, the next game it's going to be tough to keep it at that level, you know. So those are things both coaches, I'm sure they're going to look at and try to manage as they go into halftime.
Bone with a great ball to GB.
Try to snapshot it.
Try to turn on it. And well defended.
Yeah, very well defended. Didn't give him any space really as a target.
Going back to the Harrison Delbridge goal in the 36th minute. That's the 7th goal this season for FC Cincinnati in what is now their 5th match of the season. The first one scored by somebody not named GB. GB had the first 6 of the year. Tyler Pollock.
Good pressure here.
With a nice ball in the midfield, out wide to Jimmy McLaughlin. McLaughlin trying to work it into the 18. Looking for GB. The header is intercepted by Neil Collins. Kenny Walker playing it forward, and GB backed off, worried that maybe he was offside.
Yeah.
Another goal kick coming up for Pickens.
Unlucky, yeah. Kenny just tried to play a little ball over the top, I think, for Dacres maybe to spin and get.
41st minute now here in Cincinnati. Tied at 1 apiece. Tampa Bay with the goal in the 7th minute. FC Cincinnati with the counter in the 36th minute. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Free kick coming here for Tampa Bay, just outside the offensive third, following a foul called on FC Cincinnati. Nanchoff sends it in the direction of the box. Pollock fell down, creating a dangerous situation. Into the middle, Dacres able to clear it.
It was a foul on Austin Berry.
And Austin Berry,
yeah, definitely. Guy comes in with his elbow
very hard. Freeman's going to come over to make sure he's okay. Barry is up. Remember, he's had a couple different injuries. Was injured in the preseason when he hurt his elbow.
Yeah,
he took a shot. He may have gotten a bit.
Shoulder or elbow, maybe.
Shoulder, elbow, or a little bit Damian Lowe's head, too.
Yeah.
But Barry appears to be okay. Remember, he missed the game against Bethlehem with a concussion. Mitch Hildebrand will put it back into play. Make sure you stay tuned at halftime. We got a great feature coming up, talking to Mitch about playing regular minutes last season for the first time in his career, and also getting the opportunity to finally live with his wife Amber, who is an assistant coach for women's volleyball over at Xavier University. So we'll have that piece for you coming up at halftime, so make sure you stay tuned. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight on the CW Cincinnati and ESPN 1530. Tyler Pollock set to throw it in, far side of the pitch. Sent it to McLaughlin. It was intercepted, pushed right back out, so Pollock will take a couple steps back and do it all over again. Again, the throw in.
That's better possession.
This time to Andrew Wiedemann. FC Cincinnati tries to quickly get it over to the right side, and Kadeem Dacres. Dacres misplayed it for Bone, but it actually ended up on the foot of GB.
Yeah.
Here's McLaughlin. McLaughlin between two defenders. Into the box. Jimmy puts it just wide. As he stayed with it, split two defenders, and then couldn't quite get off a clean shot.
Did well. You know, the last couple of times he's been in that 1v1 position, he's put balls in. This is great to see. He's got the confidence. Get the defender's head down, split in between them, and drive at them. Falls all the way in. Unlucky. Very good, but
great idea trying to go far post.
Yeah.
Nearly gave FC Cincinnati the lead for the first time tonight. McLaughlin did not start. Came on and gave Alan Koch some great minutes at the end of the match against St. Louis. It was well in hand at 4-0, but he still came in and was trying to push that 4-0 lead a little bit further.
Looking to impress. You know, another big performer for FC Cincinnati last season.
No shortage of goal scorers on this FC Cincinnati roster. And if teams start worrying too much about GB, there's plenty of other guys in orange and blue who are going to create trouble.
Yeah.
Have not yet seen an indication on how much stoppage time will be signaled in by the fourth official. Bowden working on the near side. Down to the middle is Tampa trying to regroup. FC Cincinnati certainly has taken over the pace of this match the last 10 to 12 minutes.
They have, for sure. It's totally changed, obviously, Tampa's attack as well.
Boehner trying to get it up to Kadeem Dakers. Bowden able to intercept it.
He's having a tough time with Dakers' pressure, I think.
Wiedemann came over, took it off his foot, and then Bowden pushed it out, so a throw in for FC Cincinnati. .45th minute now here at Nippert. GB drawing a double team, and they'll say it went off his foot, so a throw in for Tampa Bay. Fourth official signaling a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time coming. Boehner to Dakers. Back to Boehner up the right side. Heavy defensive pressure. Somehow it stays alive to Wiedemann. Now to Dakers with some space. Dakers looking at it with the left foot. Forward to GB. And just inches too high. GB goes all the way into the net.
Yeah.
And knows a golden opportunity. Just missed there.
It's tough. Obviously, he's got to get over the defender's head and into that space in between the goalkeeper and the line. Almost perfect.
Continuing to see the pressure coming from the orange and blue here in the final third of this first half. Pickens going to play it forward. Delbridge got a piece of it and was called for a foul. Looked like he had a piece of the jersey of Deshaun Brown.
The dangerous set piece, maybe Tampa set up. They're going to try to create something here before the end of the half. We send their big players up.
Tampa Bay will set to strike it just across midfield. It's Nanshaw with a left foot. Sends it into the 18. GB playing back. Did a good job to screen off Neil Collins.
Yeah, just shielded up.
And create the goal kick for Hildebrand. So Tampa strikes first. FC Cincinnati answers back, and we have exactly what we expected tonight, Kevin.
Yeah.
A very highly competitive soccer match between these two teams.
Pretty even game, really. You know, first 20 minutes, I'd say Tampa were in control. Last 25, obviously FC Cincinnati have got back in with a goal and established the rhythm.
Mitch Hildebrand sends it into the midfield. The whistle comes from John Freeman, and we have reached the half in Cincinnati. Lindsey Patterson will chat with Alan Koch here momentarily. All of our sideline reports are brought to you by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. Let's head downstairs and check in with Lindsey, who's with Alan.
Coach Harrison Delbridge gets you guys on board with the equalizer. It looked like late everybody's looking a little more comfortable out there, getting some shots. What do you have to do to continue to get those opportunities in the second half?
I think we've got to put together a full 45 minutes. Obviously, a very disappointing first 30 minutes for us. I don't think we came out with the energy we need to. Obviously, they got some world-class players playing for them and obviously scored a world-class goal tonight. But the way we played in the last 15 minutes, if we can play like that for the full 45 minutes, we're going to give ourselves a chance to get a positive result tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. We certainly appreciate the time from Alan. Make sure you stay tuned. Coming up when we return, we chat with Mitch Hildebrand, FC Cincinnati goalkeeper. 45 minutes in the books, still 45 minutes coming your way at the half. These two teams tied at 1 apiece. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Last season, Mitch Hildebrand came to Cincinnati and got full-time minutes Last season, Mitch Hildebrand came to Cincinnati and got full-time minutes for the first time. Halftime here at Nippert Stadium between FC Last season, Mitch Hildebrand came to Cincinnati and got full-time minutes for the first time. He also got full-time minutes with his wife as they both had the opportunity to live in the same city. Here at the half tonight, we get a chance to chat with goalkeeper Mitch Hildebrand.
You take great pride in to play every minute for your club. You want to play every minute for your club, every minute for your school, every minute for your country, and it's a pleasure and it's a privilege. 4 years of being long distance, it weighs on you. When she took the job at Xavier, and that was a tremendous thing that she did. She didn't have to do that. She did that on her own to be here. It allowed me to play 100% free and just concentrate on my football and really make that jump. And to have her by my side really helps because you have that balance. I think it allowed me to celebrate the highs and kind of build off the lows in the right way instead of the wrong way.
Because it snuck right in the post and your hand was there. But yeah, you're just off just a step. But again, that angle's brutal.
The opportunity that John and Jeff Birding gave me here and the club just kind of gave me that confidence to go out every week and do my job.
And a big save by Mitch Hildebrand.
We really started clicking, with Paul and Austin and Harry kind of splitting the time there, center backs when Austin was out, and Tyler, playing tremendous on the left side, Pat on the right. Once we started clicking, the goalkeeper of the year thing was, it's a tremendous honor, but I share it with those 5 guys for sure because they made my job very, very easy.
Hildebrand comes up with a big save. How about Mitch Hildebrand?
When they show their appreciation in the way that they do to me and my family, it means a lot to me. It does, because you want to represent the club in the right way, and you want to represent the fans because the fans are the reason that we have a job. Yeah, we play this game because we love to do it, but I'm able to do it day in and day out because of them. And for this city to open up like that to this franchise, it's not just me, but it's the franchise, it's the whole team, is something that's going to grow exponentially over the years, and it's going to help this club get to the level that I know that it can be.
Halftime here at Nippert Stadium between FC Cincinnati and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. When we return, we take a look around the USL, and still to come on our halftime coverage will be highlights from the first 45 minutes. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. I'm here. I'm Tommy.
He grew between the first 45 minutes. Yeah. You were up here earlier.
Too much. There we go. Shane. Pull that side, Kyle. Just pull it towards you. There you go.
More towards the side.
Oh. Yes. There you go. Okay. Oh, too much. Too much. Let go. Let go. There you go. No more.
Try pulling it, actually over. See the strings?
Shane didn't move that. No camera. Hold on. Hold on. No. Just wait. Just wait. We can adjust the camera here if we need to. Oop. Let's see. What'd you say? Nick?
But first, let's see our pizza to 8.
Schiffer? Schiffer, right? How you pronounce it?
And Dave, during Lindsay's hit, we got to run down, right? During Lindsay's hit, we got to go back to our headsets. Okay. So when I send it to Lindsay, we're back downstairs. We got to go run downstairs.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. You got to get to something so I can look down at my card, though. Thank you. Back at Nippert Stadium, where FC Cincinnati and the Tampa Bay Rowdies are tied at 1. Tom Glitter and Kevin McCloskey with you as we're going to take a look at what took place in the first 45 minutes. And Kevin, the sparks started to fly early as we take a look at the first half highlights. They're delivered by PapaJohns.com. When FC scores twice, you get half off price pizzas. Code FCPizza50 and Marcel Schaefer with a world-class strike.
What a strike. World-class, obviously. Player played for Germany. You can't give him that space. He's going to punish you for it. So, fantastic strike.
So Tampa in the 7th minute got on the board, and then the chances started coming for FC Cincinnati as they took over in the final 15 minutes.
Good pressure coming. Obviously, Jimmy McLaughlin ran down the goalkeeper himself, and Dakers really put pressure on the two fullbacks. And the game started to change. Got a little bit heated. See GB obviously sticking up for his teammate Dakers, but here's the goal. Ball comes in from a corner kick. Harrison does great to rise above the defender in that scene. And good header down into the back of the net.
The size of Harrison Delbridge, a huge advantage And now time to take a look at the first half stats. 5 shots for FC Cincinnati, 2 of them on target, and really I think they all came in that final 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was obviously a very even game. I think first probably 20 were Tampa Bay, and then the last 25 minutes were probably FC Cincinnati. Obviously the stats reflect more shots and more creativity in front of goal.
Well, Alan Koch said it as he went into the locker room. It was a chance to put 45 minutes together. The 15 minutes were great, but he wants to see a 45-minute effort coming out of the locker room.
They've got to start the second half the way they finished that first half, for sure.
Lindsey Patterson got a chance to go into the locker room. Let's head down to the sideline and check in with our sideline reporter.
Yeah, guys, Coach's message was similar to what he told me going into the second half. He said, hey, that 30 minutes, that's not going to cut it going into this second half. The good news, it's over. Brand new start for these guys. It's all about finding the spaces. He says it's important to wear them out, win the middle. And when you have a free kick, take it. Hello? Dave, can you hear me?
All right, Lindsey Patterson and FC Cincinnati just out of the locker room. So let's try once again. Well, first, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. It's brought to you by Audi Cincinnati East, bringing you the ultimate Audi experience on Beachmont Avenue. And it's not going to get any easier on Saturday night. Louisville City is here, a 7 o'clock contest, and a couple on the road. And FC Cincinnati will be back home again on May 13th. Tampa Bay has made their way to stand out over the ball right at midfield and is waiting the signal from John Freeman. Alan Koch now just getting back to the FC Cincinnati bench. And his lads still huddled up as they switch sides. FC Cincinnati now will attack towards the Bailey as they look for a go-ahead goal. What adjustment would you make if you were Alan Koch right now, Kevin, to continue the pressure you saw in the final 15 minutes?
I wouldn't change anything, obviously, based on what we saw in the last 15 minutes. You know, it seemed like they finally were able to get into those spaces, those pockets in between the line of the midfield and the back line for Tampa. So I would keep it going. You know, it's obviously a new half. They have to see how the opponent comes out second half and adjust if they see anything that they need to.
Tampa Bay will get it rolling. And the second half is underway here in Cincinnati, with FC Cincinnati and the Tampa Bay Rowdies all tied up at 1 apiece. Matt Boehner picking it up defensively. Boehner had some great runs and some very strong play in the first half. Plays a long ball for Jimmy McLaughlin, who tried to keep it in along the touchline. And Jimmy has some very good speed, caught up with it, but just couldn't quite keep it in.
Could just turn the corner. Yeah, good idea again from Kenny Walker to open up possession wide, especially, and try to get Jimmy in space if he can.
Dakers is fouled in the midfield. Bowden got his arms wrapped around him. Remember, Bowden playing on a yellow card that he picked up in the 20th minute, so he has to be cautious defensively.
Yeah.
Kenny Walker put it back into play a little bit faster than John Freeman would have liked, so bring it back and start again. Walker forward for Dakers. McLaughlin into the corner trying to find Dakers, cannot. And we talked about a little bit chippy in the first 45 minutes, Kevin. A little bit of a rivalry maybe being established between these two teams. First time they've ever met in the USL, but remember, 12 cities have applied to go to Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
One of them is Cincinnati, and one of them is Tampa Bay.
Big game for pride tonight, I think.
Absolutely. First of 2 meetings this year. They'll play in July down in Tampa Bay. Something tells me it'll be a touch hotter and a lot more humid in July in Tampa Bay than it is here tonight in Cincinnati.
It's a 10 a.m. kickoff, right?
Yeah, unlikely. I think it's an 8 p.m. kickoff. So at least the sun will be down. Throwing for Dakers. Leaves it for Wiedemann. Now Dakers gets it back and has some space. Dakers looking to strike it with his left foot. He does, but it's deflected. Kenny Walker coming in. Walker trying to stay with it. Leo Fernandez is there, and Walker's going to end up taking him out and get called for the foul.
It's kind of silly foul from Kenny too. He did well the first interception, the first read, I think, take a touch, try to get past that defender. But once the defender's turn, just needs to keep him in that corner if he can.
Pickens will come over to take the free kick. 48th minute on a Wednesday night at Nippert Stadium. FC Cincinnati 1, Tampa Bay Rowdies 1. Austin Berry trying to win the header, could not. Kenny Walker playing it forward, was looking for GB. It didn't get there. Flag was up.
Offside.
And the play will be stopped for offside. Daryl Fordyce, who is available and in the 18 tonight, currently warming up, and that may be more type of situation where he's coming back from being injured.
Yeah.
May take a little bit longer to get going should Alan Koch need him, as opposed to Alan's thinking of making a substitute here early in the second half.
Again, we talked about it before the half. It's, you know, Alan's got to keep an eye on the FC Cincinnati players. There's players that probably had big highs on Saturday, played a lot of minutes. And from that, you know, he's going to gauge if he needs to make a sub or not. But like you said, Daryl's coming back from an injury. Maybe take a little bit longer to kind of loosen up and try to get the blood flowing.
GB a bit too strong, trying to win the header, is going to be called for a foul, and he whipped his arm a little bit into the head of Justin Chavez. And John Freeman's going to come over and have a chat with FC Cincinnati's leading scorer. Ball will come back into play right at midfield for Tampa Bay. Damian Lowe sending it to the top of the 18. Matt Boehner heading it away, and actually goes off of Tampa Bay out along the touchline. Throw in for the orange and blue. He'll come onto the foot of Wiedemann. Back out to Boehner. Played it short for GB, who came and caught up with it. Now Wiedemann with some space up the right side. Wiedemann forward for Dakers, right at the top of the 18, and just a bit too strong as Pickens wisely comes off his line to catch up with it.
You hear the crowd booing. I think they weren't very happy with Lowe kind of maybe obstructing Dakers and getting his arm across him as he tries to get onto the end of that through ball.
Nanchoff goes down in midfield. Kenny Walker is called for the foul. Here's that ball for Dakers.
I think it's over.
Yeah, a little bit of a foul, a little bit of a push there to keep Dakers from getting to that ball.
Bowden, sorry, yeah.
At the top of the 18. Nanchoff went down at midfield, giving the foul to Kenny Walker, and now the ball back into play for Tampa Bay into the offensive third. Sent across into the middle is intended for Brown. Well defended by FC Cincinnati.
Be interesting to see how Tampa come back, and, you know, tactically, do they make any changes in the second half? Right now it looks like they're back into the 4-2-3-1. They had a lot of possession. We looked at the stats at halftime. Not a ton of shots on goal.
Great defensive play by Kadeem Dakers. Right along the end line to slide in and take it off the foot of Bowden.
His work rate's been fantastic again tonight.
Corbin Bone with a ton of space up the middle of the pitch to GB.
Good touch.
Leaves it for Wiedemann. He'll try to go out wide for Jimmy McLaughlin. Here comes FC Cincinnati. McLaughlin just outside the 18, fires it into the backside of King. And picked up by Darwin Jones, who came back to help defensively. Polak unable to get there. Misplayed by Lowe as Tampa Bay trying to clear their defensive third. Polak going to push it out. Throw in coming. There's the ball by Dakers defensively.
Yeah.
Textbook tackle right there.
Probably 25 seconds before that, we were talking about him making a throw on into the box, you know. He's got some engine for sure.
In other words, he's getting his miles in.
He's definitely getting his miles in.
Throwing for the Rowdies at midfield. 52nd minute, 1-1. Rowdies struck first in the 7th minute. Then Harrison Delbridge with the equalizer on a corner kick from Kenny Walker to tie it at 1 apiece. Right now, FC Cincinnati with 6 points, sitting in 6th place in the East. Rowdies, following the loss against Louisville City, dropped to 4th place with 9 points. A little bit early to be table watching.
Yeah.
But something to certainly
keep an eye on.
Keep a bit of an eye on, no doubt. I wouldn't be shocked to see both these clubs in the top 4 come September as you're going down the home stretch of the regular season.
I think even with St. Louis, too, the team we saw on Saturday, they've got a good team.
And Louisville City, the team that's going to be here
this weekend. Big week.
And they're in first place right now in the East, so playing very well. As FC Cincinnati's foes just down the street. Delbridge with a left foot. Seeing it forward to GB. Pickens comes forward to scoop it up. Pickens and Lowe getting tied up again. Or sorry, GB and Lowe. Away from the ball. The crowd reacting there as those two got tied up inside of the 18 after Pickens came over to get the loose ball.
It's a little bit of contact. I don't think it was too bad.
Seeing those two into each other a little bit in the first half. Just renewing pleasantries. You know, this is the first time GB has played in the United States. There's a lot of introductions to make.
There is definitely handshakes.
Darwin Jones, great ball into the middle of Darnell King. Tried to feed it to the top of the 6-yard box. Harrison Delbridge put his head down and sent it out for a throw-in.
This is where FC Cincinnati have got to be switched on, you know, from the presence and the speed of King and Jones coming up that right side for Tampa Bay, the left side obviously for FC Cincinnati. Both very dynamic players. So I think Tyler and McLaughlin have got to stay on the same page and make sure that partnership's good.
Right behind where this throw-in is coming, Georgi Ristov, who leads Tampa Bay in scoring, has been warming up. That would certainly be a possible second half sub for Stuart Campbell. And of course, we still have not seen Joe Cole, who I imagine many soccer fans expected and hoped to see out on the pitch tonight. GB leaving it for Corbin Bone with a ton of space. Now here comes McLaughlin using his speed up the left side.
We talked about just a second ago the speed of King.
King caught up with him.
Yeah, I think Jimmy had about a 10-yard head start, and King came back and covered well. So
King, a defender out of Tampa, Florida. Went to Florida Atlantic University. Played with Fort Lauderdale in the NASL. And called for the foul there. 55th minute. FC Cincinnati inside of their offensive third. Kenny Walker, who already has an assist tonight.
Nice.
Will restart it. Corbin Bone. Nobody on him. Bone into the box. Gave it to Wiedemann. Now trying to keep it alive. It'll go out.
Corner kick.
And a corner kick coming.
Pulled a goal kick, I think.
Oh, I don't know. That looked like it went off of Tampa Bay.
Looked like it. Smart play, though, from Kenny Walker. I think Corbin had just made a run. Kenny saw that run and played before the whistle.
Ton of space there for Corbin Bone. And here's another look.
Head up, just unlucky.
Unable to see who it went off of.
I think it's Bowden maybe that gets across and defends well from it.
Goal kick for Pickens. Sends it out across midfield, and then Austin Berry turning it back forward in the direction of GB. Picked up by Tampa Bay. Chavez intercepted. Cross for GB from Wiedemann, doesn't get there. Dakers deflects it. Sent out by Tampa Bay. Throw in coming for the orange and blue. Quickly to Bone. Now Dakers. Dakers on the right side. Trying to send it into the middle. Defended by Tampa Bay and picked back up by the Rowdies.
It's got to be careful on this transition.
Boehner. Would have been called for a foul. Play on is called as Tampa Bay into the offensive third quickly. Bowden out wide. Looking for Nanchoff right at the corner of the 18. Nanchoff going to turn it around and slow down. Bowden far touchline. Darnell King. And into the middle back to Chavez.
This is not, this is where Tampa are very good. Fending the opponents off. In possession. Just kind of stringing the passes together, waiting for those pockets to open up.
Damian Lowe with his right foot pushes it forward. Justin Chavez back across the middle of the pitch, and Tampa Bay very deliberate here.
Yeah.
Knocking it around, trying to find a little bit of space to make something happen.
You'll just see. I mean, they're trying to beat possession really and try to draw a player out to create an extra space or level in behind and then release at the right time. So we talked about that before the game. Patient build-up. That's patient build-up right there.
How about this? Matt Boehner will now go into the book for that tackle at midfield. There hadn't been a stoppage for about 3 minutes. It was a tough tackle by Boehner. So in the 58th minute, Matt Boehner picks up a yellow card. For Boehner, that is his first of the season. Corner kick coming after Austin Berry cleared the cross from Tampa Bay.
FC have got to make sure that they pick up these big targets. Got low at the back post here.
Headed away by GB, who came back to defend it. Of course, that corner kick was brought to you by the Levy Law offices. Now GB trying to take it off the foot of his nemesis, Damian Lowe, and then Lowe knocks him over, and he'll be called for the foul.
Doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
Center forwards tackling the center back.
Another look at it is GB and Lowe battling for possession.
Rules are reversed
deep in the defensive third. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Jimmy McLaughlin knocked down right in front of FC Cincinnati's bench. Foul is called, and
I like the intent here, though. FC Cincinnati are always trying to, do quick restarts. We talked about a varied approach. I think Kenny switched on. He's always looking for that now, which is good.
Tyler Pollock setting to send it across. Deflected away. Back to Matt Boehner. 60th minute. Nippert Stadium. Second ever meeting between FC Cincinnati and Tampa Bay. Tied at 1 apiece. Foul called on Tampa Bay. Kenny Walker was knocked over. And actually,
quick restart.
there you go. And Alan Koch is going to go to his first sub of the night. The next opportunity is Daryl Fordyce, who'll be coming in. Ball looking for Kadeem Dakers across the 6-yard box. What a ball from Jimmy McLaughlin there. Corner kick coming. Let's see if Allen's going to make the sub before. First the ball from McLaughlin.
Yeah, great ball. He's trying to find Dakers here at the back post.
Sailed over GB, which was okay. Maybe get some of that defensive attention.
Yeah, to pull that player across.
See first of Tyler Pollock on the corner kick, presented by the Levy Law offices, where they turn your crash into cash. Will give FC Cincinnati their first lead of the night. Pollock into the box. Delbridge trying to get it to another header this time. Can't find it. McLaughlin to the loose ball. Brown coming over, and then we'll send it out off the foot of McLaughlin. Throw in deep in the defensive third for Tampa Bay. And the first sub for Alan Koch will be Daryl Fordyce, coming in for Andrew Wiedemann.
I think Darrell, yeah, obviously a natural kind of 10. He can even play the 9 position too, but probably setting up just underneath GB. Gives the attack a little bit, of a different look as well.
Folks, my broadcast partner was excited about that signing during the offseason. Daryl Fordyce from Belfast, Northern Ireland. My broadcast partner, Kevin McCloskey, from Belfast, Ireland. So, a few things to talk about between the two of you, right?
Oh, he's a great guy, yeah. Brilliant to see Darrell. I think he settled in well. Had a very, kind of rich career as a youth player too. So brings a lot of experience over.
Fordyce gets a touch right away to Kadeem Dakers, who will shoot it high. And he brings a lot of experience. Fordyce, last season with Edmonton, played 4 years in Edmonton in the NASL, 96 appearances and 28 goals.
Yeah, very experienced player. Talking with Alan about him, kind of about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's very excited. He's a guy that brings a lot of composure into the attack, very experienced, doesn't get rattled too much, and has an extreme amount of quality.
Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. It appears that Stuart Campbell will be using his first sub and will counter the move by Alan Koch here shortly. Fordyce picked up a knock. Hold on, Corbin Bone looking for GB, and it's intercepted as Lowe gets his chest on it. Fordyce picked up a knock early on in the season. He actually started the season opener, then was out for a few games. And I know Alan's been anxious to get him back out on the field and see how he can contribute.
Just manage his minutes. Obviously, you know, we thought we might see him the home opener, but game was in hand. You know, it's obviously gives him a little bit more rest time and try to get back to 100%.
Daker's pass into the middle is intercepted. Corbin Bone will pick up the loose ball and give it right back to Kadeen. Again deflected out by Tampa Bay. Throw in coming for Kadeen Dakers. And now Georgi Rostov, the 6-foot forward from Bulgaria, has come out to midfield. He will come in at the next opportunity. Great footwork from Boehner. Boehner to Fordyce. And a big save there by Matt Pickens, as Fordyce didn't quite get it probably as he wanted to.
Yeah.
Because if he does, it's a 2-1 game.
I think it's in between his feet, right? I think if it's on his right foot, it's a natural goal, really. But the ball, I think, was played and he kind of adjusted his body around. But great bit of skill by Matt Boehner.
Yeah. Boehner, thrilled to be back in Cincinnati, certainly has been fantastic so far in orange and blue. Fordyce is taken down hard by Michael Nanchov. John Freeman coming over, settle things down. It does not appear as though there will be a booking. There's the ball from Boehner up to Fordyce. He had Lowe closing in on him, so he had to get it quickly.
Yeah, just had to turn his body a little bit too. Yellow card.
So Nanchov is booked.
Yeah, it's a
for
bad
the
tackle. It's a second, you know, kind of strong tackle as well. If you remember the first tackle he had in the first 5 minutes.
Ohio native Michael Nanchov. I'd imagine some of his friends and family made the about 3.5-hour drive south to watch him play today. Of course, his father and uncle, legendary soccer players in Northeast Ohio.
Strong soccer name, definitely in the state of Ohio.
Nanchov, a national champion in 2010 at Akron. And actually, his uncle and father also played for the Akron Zips. First yellow card of the season for Nanchov. Pollock into the middle. Deflected away. Matt Boehner going to get his head on it. Up to Austin Berry. Try to flick it on. Nobody home for FC Cincinnati. Still tied at 1 now in the 66th minute. GB getting tied up with Neil Collins, and they're barking at each other.
Collins, he just had his, I think that was accidental, so I think he just had his arm out. GB maybe run into it as he went past.
Throw in for FC Cincinnati. Kenny Walker trying to push it forward, and a foul is called on Corbin Bone.
I think it was Darrell maybe that caught him there. Tough one too. He looked like he maybe won the ball.
Tampa Bay into the offensive third. Sent across the middle. Onto the foot of Brown. Trying to turn and get a shot off. Deflects off of FC Cincinnati. I think Matt Boehner touched it.
Oregon, it looked like a goal kick, honestly.
And FC Cincinnati arguing for it. Austin Berry, team captain, is really not happy. As a corner kick coming up.
I think as Brown turns out, I think he just gets a slice on it.
Nanchov with his left foot will send it from the far side. Looking back post. FC Cincinnati's there defensively. Daker's trying to make his run. And coming over was Chavez to step in the way. And now Chavez and Daker's getting into it. And Chavez puts an arm into the face of Daker's. Harrison Delbridge coming over to try to settle things down as Daker's is hot, and understandably so. And we're going to see what John Freeman does here, because there was a lot of shoving going on right there in front of the Tampa Bay bench. We'll get another look. Here's Dakers and Chavez going out. Dakers trying to get to the ball, was trying to get it away.
Trying to take the throw in quick. Chavez holds on to it.
Chavez got him twice in the face with the elbow. Dakers did swat at him first.
Boost at him. Yeah.
And then Dakers is shoved by Darnell King, who came over to try to break it up. No discipline from John Freeman coming out of it. Tyler Pollock, in the meantime, will set to throw it in. All played forward for GB. GB looking to chip Matt Pickens, who was playing forward a little bit. Not a bad idea.
No, not at all. I mean, he turned him, he had space. Saw the goalkeeper was off his line, just didn't make great contact on it.
Pickens going to give his guys some time to set up as he sets to send it left to right. 69th minute, tied at 1 at Nippert Stadium, where the drums are sounding in the Bailey. Sold out for the season is the Bailey on season tickets. You cannot get an individual ticket to sit in the Bailey in 2017.
Wow. It's impressive.
Ball rolls in at the other end to Mitch Hildebrandt. He'll give it forward to Delbridge. Back to Mitch. Now Kenny Walker looking it to his left. Delbridge looking for space, had a very narrow window and couldn't quite find Jimmy McLaughlin. Boehner trying to get it in the midfield with a nice tackle. He does.
This could be good here.
Dakers right up the middle. GB has to hold up. Now Dakers is taken down hard by Damian Lowe, who's going to be shown a yellow card. So another tough tackle. And Damian Lowe goes into the book.
Dakers is just, he's giving the back line of Tampa Bay a nightmare, really. It's, anytime he gets it, he's driving at them, having to commit fouls.
No play on the ball. That's why you get the yellow card.
Yeah. So, I mean, FC Cincinnati, if they can continue to find his feet, it's going to bring a lot of end product.
Dakers joining FC Cincinnati this season after playing with rival Louisville City last year. Second yellow card on the season for Damian Lowe. Third today for Tampa Bay. 20 minutes remaining. FC Cincinnati looking for a chance to take the lead here. Walker and Pollock standing over it. If it's Tyler, it'll be left foot. It won't be. Kenny Walker will hit it with his right. Walker going to try to score, and he pushes it just wide.
Good effort
of a diving Matt Pickens. Walker knew he almost had it.
Does well, yeah, to get it over the wall, just seal, it's close.
And literally maybe very 10 inches from sneaking inside.
It's hard to tell from this angle if it went over the bar or wide of the post, but did really well to get it over, dip over the wall and back on.
Pickens did a nice job getting there as well. Give him credit. Pickens has played pretty well today in his first start of the season. Getting beat just on the corner kick by Harrison Delbridge.
Yeah. Very experienced keeper.
Yeah, there was no panic. We talked to Stuart Campbell yesterday. He didn't acknowledge at that point that Akira Fitzgerald wouldn't be available.
Yeah.
But he knew that if he had to go with Matt Pickens, he was going to be just fine. Tampa Bay to the offensive third. They will make their second substitute at the next opportunity, and it will be Joe Cole, a native of London, England, with an extensive Premiership resume. Marcel Schaefer sends it across. Now Tampa Bay trying to push it into the offensive third. They do on the far side. Into the middle. Delbridge's header is misplayed. Then a tackle in the box. Tampa Bay wanted a penalty. It will not come. And Jimmy McLaughlin's going to try to pick it up in the other direction. Doesn't work. Darnell King recovers. Hawker's clearance goes straight into the air. And Daryl Fordyce unable to pick it up for Cincinnati. Ball across to the right side, intended for Ristoff. He had the goal against FC Cincinnati last year in the U.S. Open Cup match. A 1-0 victory for the Rowdies.
Interesting to see Ristoff and Joe Cole, this partnership in midfield, and how that combines and what they can try to provide in the last period of this game.
Ristoff now in, leading the team with 3 goals on the season. Joe Cole has not yet scored this year, but certainly will give a boost to the Rowdies when he checks in for Michael Nanchoff. GB over to the right side. Now played into the middle, Kenny Walker. Walker going to send it over to the left.
Good idea.
Headed away, throw in for FC Cincinnati is Darnell King headed it out. Jimmy McLaughlin trying to keep it alive. Foul is called, and a dangerous free kick coming up here for the men in orange and blue.
Yeah. I think so far, the set piece delivery has been fantastic for FC Cincinnati. They've really varied it. They've changed, going long, then little through balls in. Obviously, they've got big targets coming up with Harrison and Austin again.
Kenny Walker has looked very good on these set pieces today.
His delivery's been very good.
He's there with Pollock as well. Walker took the last one. 1-1, 74th minute. Pollock will run over it again. Walker with his right foot into the box, headed away and cleared by Tampa Bay. Dakers trying to win it back, collides hard with Brown. Brown is down. GB's mixing it up, and again, tempers flaring a little bit here in the second half. Sean Brown went down after the foul, and now the medical staff will be called on for Tampa Bay.
Dakers caught him there.
And a red card for Kadeem Dakers. Wow.
That totally changes the game.
Not only changes the game, but changes Saturday as well, when Dakers won't be available for Louisville City.
That's harsh.
We'll have to get another look. Austin Berry's going to have words with John Freeman in the meantime.
I think, he definitely catches him, but very unintentional. He's going for the ball.
And you can see the disappointment from Kadeem Dakers right now as he's being walked off by Damian Lowe. The Bailey not happy. Brown is still down.
Such a shame, too.
And wow, does that change things. Second times in 5 games. Here's the look.
He takes a touch and
he's playing the ball, is he not?
Yeah, he's playing the ball. There's
he
no
catches him.
Red card. Yellow card, yeah.
In no doubt a very sensitive area, but that doesn't escalate it to a red card.
No, and he knows. But he's going for the ball. That's a yellow card, not a red card.
So a very tough break for FC Cincinnati and Alan Koch, not only for the remaining 15 minutes or so of this match, where they will now play a man down.
It's a shame.
Here's another look. Dakers playing the ball, and happens.
Takes a touch. He's got his eye on the ball. He's not looking at the player.
There's nothing egregious about that, aside from where he catches it.
He's showing his studs, and as I said, it's a yellow card. For me, that's not a red card.
So Kadeem Dakers is shown a straight red in the 75th minute, and FC Cincinnati is going to have to regroup now and really try to hold on for a point.
Yeah, they're going to have to change the shape a little bit. They're probably going to drop, I'd say maybe the middle player drops back in and allows another player to go out wide, maybe go back into a 4 block with GB up top.
I'm saying second time now in 5 matches to start the season that FC Cincinnati has seen a red card. Paul Nicholson got one very early on 2 matches ago. That one I felt all right about.
Yeah, and again, it's such a shame because Dakers was FC Cincinnati's most effective, most dynamic player. You felt like, the longer the game going on, he was probably going to be the difference in the game. And now it's totally changed. So it's a shame.
And it changes Saturday. Kadeem Dakers was looking forward to playing against Louisville City on Saturday.
Yeah.
His former team, and now.
But hey, look, it's part of the game, right?
Yep.
I think Alan's got to react to this now and get organized, which he will.
It's plenty of time while Brown was down. He is now up. Plenty of time for for FC Cincinnati to regroup, change their shape.
They've actually just changed it. I thought they'd maybe stay with the target, but it looks like they've kind of went into a 4-1-4. This might release where GB kind of releases, gets back defensively, but then slides hard to beat that target.
Joe Cole, in the meantime, has been waiting about 10 minutes to get into this match.
Cole's not coming back to Cincinnati.
He has not been signaled in. At some point, I assume he will step onto the pitch here at Nippert Stadium. And it looked like FC Cincinnati was preparing a card too, possibly to make a substitution to try and hold on here in the last 15 minutes. 78th minute now, on to the 79th. FC Cincinnati playing a man down, tied at 1-1 with Tampa Bay. Darnell King on the right side, trying to get around Jimmy. Back to King. King sending it into the middle. Deflected right onto the foot of Brown. Daryl Fordyce there trying to get to it. Mitch says no with a huge save. And then a deflection over the goal.
That's a huge tackle by Austin Berry. That play coming from King and James again on the right side we talked about. Probably the two most threatening players for Tampa. Ball in, that's a big time tackle.
First the tackle, then this kick save by Mitch Hildebrandt, and a deflection to send it out over. In the meantime, a corner kick back as Tampa Bay trying to take the lead late. Deflected out wide, Chavez going to push it forward onto the right, Ristov. Tyler Pollock pushes it out along the touchline, coming for Tampa Bay, and now Joe Cole will get a chance to check in. After coming out to midfield about 10 minutes ago, he will replace Michael Nanchoff.
Substitution for Tampa Bay, number 26, Joe Cole, in for number 23, Michael Nanchoff.
So Joe Cole, first time this year off the bench for Stuart Campbell. Of course, he had a great career with Chelsea. Also played with Liverpool, won 10 trophies during his EPL career, 3 times won the Premiership.
Big time player. Played for
Not
England,
much else to say there.
Started his youth career at West Ham. Yeah, I mean, he's a very experienced player. I think at one point he was definitely the most exciting young English player coming through.
Goal kick coming up here for Mitch Hildebrandt.
With a very experienced player, obviously, for Tampa Bay to have in the roster.
Alan Koch will send his second sub out to midfield. That'll be Victor Mansouri. He played very well in his appearance on Saturday night.
Yeah. And, you know, anytime that you're going down a player or two, Alan's probably going to back and said, yeah, he wants to keep a draw, but, you know, is there something that we can do to maybe break in and get that threat and maybe sneak a goal? And a guy like Victor, again, he's very, very dynamic, very athletic player. He's the type of guy that can drop back, but maybe give you something in the attack on the flip side. So it'll be interesting to see.
Hildebrandt's goal kick played out into the midfield. GB comes to get it, and a handball will be called on GB. And now FC Cincinnati can make the substitution.
He's going to go for GB, maybe, I think. Just
so
smart.
Mansouri in for GB, no doubt.
Yeah, bring that forward off, and obviously bring in a player that's got speed and can maybe try to sneak you something.
GB with a round of applause for the Bailey as he heads out. Mansouri comes in. Do you think now they shift Fordyce maybe as that one target?
Well, I think they're going to go. You can just see it right now. I think they're going to keep it 4-4 and then one with a target up top. They'll play 4 across the midfield, 4 across the back, and Vic Mansouri will be kind of the lone target.
Well, fresh legs coming on in the form of number 80. You know, we talked about how unfortunate it is. Kadeem Dakers won't be available now on Saturday. The only good thing, not that there's many good things about seeing a red card for one of your guys, is that this team has a lot of depth.
Yeah.
And Allen will be able to prepare knowing that Kadeem won't be available.
Many options to come in for sure.
And we'll be able to look at his formation. It's still very disappointing the way that Kadeem has been playing so far this season.
Yeah, especially in tonight's game, you know. It's like, in my eyes, I mean, he was man of the match. You know, he's
still can be.
Oh,
I mean, right?
if we say so, we can't.
Right? We have to name one afterwards. Harrison Delbridge brings it back to Mitch Hildebrandt. 83rd minute now. I'd imagine because Deshaun Brown stayed down so long after that red card was issued, we'll see probably 3, 4, if not 5 minutes of stoppage time added on. So we're looking at probably 10 to 12 more minutes of action here at Nippert Stadium. Justin Chavez. Damian Lowe. Tampa Bay working in the offensive third. Marcel Schaefer. Tampa Bay certainly looking to control the possession here for the final 10 minutes or so. Darnell King plays it back to Damian Lowe. Ball sent into the middle for Tampa Bay in the direction of Brown. Broken up. Jimmy McLaughlin goes down hard. Mitch Hildebrandt looking for play to be stopped. Now at will as it is sent out. McLaughlin may have taken a boot to the face there. And all of a sudden, FC Cincinnati's looking for some discipline on the tackle in the box.
Oh, looks like he,
that's a cleat right to the face.
Yeah, looks like he just turned around and cut.
If Kadeem Dakers gets a red card for cleat like when he's going for the ball.
Bit of a karate kick, honestly.
Then Joe Cole gets a red card. But
I don't think he's getting a red card.
There's been no discipline yet, and does not appear as though John Freeman is reaching for his pocket. There is blood apparently coming from the face of Jimmy McLaughlin.
Same situation, but right, ball's there and it's kind of there to be won. Contact kind of follows.
Maybe his knee.
I think he hit him with his knee.
Yeah, got his knee and got Jimmy's mouth.
I think that's the same thing, right?
It sure looks like
You're
it.
attempting to play the ball.
But apparently not in the mind of John Freeman. And if John Freeman says that it's not discipline, then it's not.
We're not changing it.
So a stoppage in play as Jimmy McLaughlin is attended to. They'll have to stop his bleeding if he's going to remain in. Alan Koch does have one substitute remaining. Jimmy started for Victor Mansoray today. Mansoray has already come into the match, and now he is going to call somebody over. It'll be Andy Craven putting on his jersey and becoming the third substitution for Alan Koch.
Craven might go into that target position then, and Victor may become wide.
Joe Cole wandering around near where McLaughlin is down. Now, if sometimes the match official will wait until the injury situation is settled to hand out discipline, but he did not do that just moments ago in the situation with Kadeem Dakers, so I don't think we're going to see any discipline here on the knee to the face of Jimmy McLaughlin. And look at that. There you can see his lip is split wide open. McLaughlin's going to be coming out.
This time coming off too, probably helps FC Cincinnati a little bit. Down a player. Unfortunate, obviously, for Jimmy, but they're not going to be in a rush to start this back. Hopefully Jimmy's okay. That looks pretty bad.
Yeah, he may be visiting the team physicians. Aaron Powell out there trying to stop the bleeding, but now Alan Koch has sent Andy Craven to midfield. So Jimmy will come out and run out along the touchline. And Andy Craven will be able to come in for the final few minutes. Now I would say we're certainly looking at 4 to 5 minutes of stoppage time with the 2 late injuries.
Yeah.
Craven in, McLaughlin out. And play will resume with no discipline following the knee. Oh, and they're going to
straight back in.
Put McLaughlin back in and pull Craven back. So scratch the substitution. They were ready for it if McLaughlin couldn't carry on, yeah. But credit Aaron Powell, good job getting the bleeding to stop so that Jimmy can stay in the game. Jimmy's other player has been playing very well.
Yeah, he is. He has been.
Matt Boehner turning it forward to Victor Mansoret. Mansoret looking to try to get maybe 1 or 2 chances going here for Cincinnati. McLaughlin with the right boot into the box. The flag did not go up. Daryl Fordyce couldn't quite catch up to it.
I think just having this last player or two, they're with the attack and what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to find maybe that long ball and that lone target, or maybe that outside player coming across. The play's definitely going to change a little bit in that final third.
Tampa Bay pushing towards the offensive third. Kenny Walker with a deflection. Matt Boehner comes back. 5 minutes of stoppage time have been added on, so it's not a surprise after the 2 injuries here in the second half, as well as a handful of yellow cards and 1 red card issued to Kadeem Dakers in the 75th minute. So FC Cincinnati now going on their 15th minute playing a man down. Tampa Bay with Joe Cole knocking it out wide. Schaefer sending it forward. Cross is deflected, came off the foot of Bowden. Now Walker deflects it out, throw in coming for Tampa Bay.
Just see how deep FC Cincinnati drop back in. Going to kind of give all that space to Tampa to kind of try to build and make sure that they're picking up runners in that final third.
Ristoff trying to pull it down, cannot. It'll go out wide to King. Ristoff with Polak coming in tight, pushes it away. Now Marcel Schaefer sent into the middle.
Got to get pressure on the ball here from Victor.
Schaefer back out wide. Bowden into the middle. Header straight into the air.
Yeah, free kick right.
Polak will be fouled in the box. Trying to win it. Brown got a piece of him. And a free kick will come from Mitch Hildebrand as we are now into stoppage time. 1 more sub coming for Stuart Campbell. He will look to Martin Patterson for a spark. Patterson gave it to him down at Louisville City on Saturday. Played his first 11 minutes of the season, got 1 shot, and he scored. The problem for Tampa Bay, it was 2-0 at the time. He will come in for Darwin Jones. See if Hildebrand can set something up here. Looking in the direction of Mansoret. Headed away by Lowe. To Walker, then to Mansoret. And Lowe took it right off his foot. Lowe's going to race up the field left to right.
Was well intercepting that and obviously used a burst of speed to get past.
Polak coming over to collect. Now has to clear it out in the midfield onto the chest of Victor Mansoret, who is fouled.
He's smart there, John, the foul honestly.
He felt the pressure coming from behind and was able to fall down and get the call.
Smart. He wants to try to kill the clock a little bit. At least give FC Cincinnati an opportunity to advance the ball here.
So here'll be the substitution. Martin Patterson on. The forward, 5'10", out of Stoke-on-Trent, England. Who's part of Stoke City's youth academy. Made 130 appearances for Burnley. And the 29-year-old will come on in stoppage time. FC Cincinnati getting set to put it back into play with Harrison Delbridge. Delbridge trying to play it down the left side for Jimmy McLaughlin.
That's a good ball.
He'll take a nice bounce as McLaughlin tried to flick it onto himself. Tampa Bay is there defensively. And remember the orange and blue playing a man down right now. Throw in for Tampa Bay.
FC just need to be careful again in transition. They've got to get back and get set up defensively.
Tampa Bay looking for another scoring opportunity. Knocking it around the midfield, working up a man. Fordyce challenging, turning the ball backwards. Onto the foot of Lowe, right at midfield. Lowe will turn it back to his left. Neil Collins over to Joe Cole. Cole with the right foot, plays it forward. Delbridge gets his head on it to clear. Jimmy McLaughlin trying to push it out into the midfield. Tampa Bay picks it right back up with Ristoff. Into the middle, over the head of Harrison Delbridge, off the chest of Austin Berry. Tampa Bay wanted a handball.
Dangerous baller for Ristoff, just whipping back in with his right foot.
Kenny Walker will let it go out along the end line. Goal kick for Mitch Hildebrand. About 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining. It's been a battle, Kevin. We expected it to be between these two teams. It will be again on July 6th when they play at 8 p.m. in Tampa Bay. And Hildebrand will set to put his right foot on it.
We've talked about it before, but the red card, I think, certainly changed it.
Yeah, no doubt. FC Cincinnati playing very well from about the 30th minute on.
Yeah.
And they were creating chances in the second half, and they pretty much went all away after that red card.
Absolutely, especially with the individual coming off.
Daryl Fordyce down the right side. He'll send it across the middle, but right into the chest of Matt Pickens, who's quickly going to play it forward to Ristoff.
This is where they've got to be careful in this transition, Dynamon.
About 1 minute of stoppage time remaining. Tampa Bay looking for another opportunity. Here's Cole. Cole trying to get into the middle. He does, but it ends up right in the hands of Mitch Hildebrand, who's going to fall down and take some time now. All things considered, FC Cincinnati can feel okay.
This is a good result
if they walk away with a point.
If they walk away with a tie.
It's not done yet.
You know, obviously I'm sure Alan and the team wanted 3 points, but it's on against a very experienced team with Tampa Bay. I'm sure they'll be happy enough.
Knocked out, far touchline, throw in for Tampa Bay. Here with what can only be seconds remaining at Nippert Stadium. 1-1. An early goal from Tampa Bay. Then an equalizer from Harrison Delbridge in the 36th minute. Tampa Bay looking for one more chance. Chavez playing it over to Ristoff. Shot will sail over Mitch Hildebrand. And the final whistle comes from John Freeman. We end in a 1-1 draw. $15,227 on hand here tonight at Nippert Stadium. Saw a competitive, at times emotional match between FC Cincinnati and Tampa Bay Rowdies. Tonight's moment of the match is driven by Toyota. Let's go places. And pretty easy to find the moment of the match, Kevin. The goal by Harrison Delbridge.
Yeah, great service in by Kenny Walker, and Harrison does well. Get in between that space between the two center backs, and great finish into the back of the net.
Delbridge, the first FC Cincinnati player this season not named GB to tally a goal. We'll step aside here at Nippert Stadium and wrap it up when we return with an interview with Alan Koch and highlights from tonight's game. Once again, your final 1-1 FC Cincinnati and Tampa Bay. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Tom Glatter and Kevin McCloskey back with you at Nippert Stadium, where FC Cincinnati has picked up a point. A 1-1 draw on a Wednesday evening with Tampa Bay. The third member of our broadcast team, Lindsay Patterson, is on the field, and she's joined now by head coach Alan Koch.
Coach, I know you always want to walk away with 3, but you are walking away with a draw. I know you told them at the half to forget about that first half. They played pretty well from that 30th minute on, going into the second half, a man down.
Yeah, I was disappointed the way we played for the first 30 minutes. And full credit to Tampa Bay, they're an excellent team. Obviously scored a world-class goal by a world-class player. But after those 30 minutes, I really thought we were the team that started to take it to them, which we should be at home. Obviously a great set-piece goal by Harrison. I thought we were carrying it and going at them in the second 45 minutes. It's a game of moments. Obviously a great goal for them, a great goal by Harrison too. Is that a red card in the game? Who knows? But at the end of it, in the context of the game, in the context of 90 minutes, we'll be very happy with 1 point against a team like that tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Lindsay. Great job tonight, as always, and we certainly appreciate the time from Alan Koch. Tonight's match highlights are presented by Toyota. For all the latest Toyota offers, visit buyatoyota.com. And Kevin, easy place to start. A world-class goal there from Marcel Schaefer.
What a goal. Yeah, probably, I don't know, if he's 35, 40 yards out. Fantastic strike, and it just drifts away from Mitch. Goes into the top corner.
So Tampa Bay had the momentum early. The match got physical, and then some opportunities started to open up for the men in orange and blue.
Pressure started to mount, right? Dakers and Jimmy McLaughlin, I think, did a great job of kind of going out to fullbacks. And from that, it kind of changed the last 15 minutes, as Alan talked about. FC Cincinnati started getting more chances. Here's the goal from Harrison. Great delivery from Kenny Walker. I thought he had a very good game today. And obviously Harrison finishes it off with a nice finish.
The header from the big Aussie, and there were more opportunities that Kenny Walker shot in the second half. Probably the best opportunity for the orange and blue.
I thought he was very clinical on set pieces tonight, you know, and that set piece that just went wide. The service and his delivery, that's the red card offense, obviously, which, again, questionable if it's a red card or yellow card, but it stood, which then totally changed the game.
No doubt. The opportunities dried up for FC Cincinnati after the red card called on Kadeem Dakers, but give FC Cincinnati a lot of credit defensively because they held tight. You saw there as Jimmy McLaughlin was fouled hard and the blood started pouring from his lip, but the guys held tight from there. Tonight's man of the match is presented by You Pull and Pay. Find the parts you need fast and save at You Pull and Pay. And they gave Kenny Walker a big task tonight, and he answered the bell.
So yeah, I mean, I think Jimmy McLaughlin ended up being the man of the match, but yeah, I think his pressure, you know, we talked about him and Kadeem. I thought they did a great job. Probably his very industrial performance tonight from Jimmy, and certainly put in a solid 90 minutes.
He may be getting a few stitches in the locker room right now, but Jimmy McLaughlin, the man of the match tonight. And Kevin, a win and a draw here in these first two. Another tough one coming up for FC Cincinnati on Saturday against Louisville City.
Big game against obviously the top team in the league, and you know, short recovery, quick recovery, but I think just based on how they bounce back from the game against St. Louis and the preparation, I think they'll be ready to go on Saturday.
Once again, your final score from Nippert Stadium: FC Cincinnati 1, Tampa Bay 1. Our next broadcast of USL Soccer comes your way this Saturday when FC Cincinnati welcomes rival Louisville City FC for a blackout at Nippert Stadium. The action begins at 7 p.m. on WSTR and ESPN 1530. For sideline reporter Lindsay Patterson, my broadcast partner Kevin McCloskey, our producer David Asbrock, and production manager Mike Bacon, I'm Tom Glitter saying so long and good night from Nippert Stadium.